Did you ever hear that Jason Sudeikis lied down in the front seat of his car while he was having an argument with Olivia Munn? What's the context here? Like, he lied down, like he was like, this fight is going to take forever, so I'm just going to recline the seat? Because I can kind of support that. I can kind of... Sorry, Olivia Wilde, not Olivia Munn. Sorry, Olivia Wilde. Olivia Wilde! No, he laid down in the driveway in front of the car? Well, I just feel bad for him then. That's a rough situation. I'm sure he was going through it. I thought he was having an argument with Olivia Wilde in his car, and then he said this is going to take forever, so he reclined the seat back to be like, I might as well at least relax while I'm fighting. Have you ever seen the Morse code recordings from the Titanic? I have not. I know I've said this before. Why didn't the dude just dodge the iceberg? It's also crazy, like, Kate was watching Titanic. I watched a little bit of it. It's so funny that, like, in my head... Sorry, let me pause for a second here. In my head, when the captain, like, hits the engine, literally just like an engine in the basement goes like, vroom, like when you press the gas pedal on your car, right? The car just speeds up. But then the captain is like, let's take her out to sea. And he slams down, like, the thing that relays the instruction from the bridge to the engine room, and then like 17 different gears turn in the engine room and go like, and then these things start going, then it goes down like one more room, and there's like 100 dudes shoveling coal. They're like, this is what they paid for, lads, go. Honest question. That's not what it's like anymore, right? Like when the captain of the Disney Wonder wants the boat to go faster, he just pushes like the gas pedal, right? And then the engine goes like it uses more fuel, I imagine. But it's not like there's no dudes in the engine room, right? Because those guys look like they had a pretty hard job. But, like, why were they doing that back? Like, what? And I'm not saying this is not like a conspiracy theory, like, oh, you actually believe Titanic went down like that? Rather, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, what invention allowed them to not have dudes in the engine room shoveling coal into the engines every time the captain wanted to go faster? Oil? That makes a lot of sense. Bitcoin. Did you think they still use coal? No, but I guess I didn't really think about the fact that, like, with oil, you can just pump it, you know? Instead of, like, coal, you gotta actually physically move it because it's a solid. They use bunker fuel? It's pretty bad. No, they cleaned it up recently. I don't know if you read the periodicals. It's kind of still like that. Okay, but not the dudes in the engine room, though, right? Like, that... Like, the bridge has something that they turn, which relays an instruction to, like, the helmsmister, or, you know, they're all it's steeped in tradition, is what I'm trying to say. And the shovels are bigger. The shovels are powered by Web 3. I mean, the more you know. I know this is, like, the most common... Well, I got a couple of things to say about Titanic, okay? First off, I hadn't seen the movie since, like, 1997 when I was a little kid. So I kind of thought Titanic was like a boring pseudo-period piece that was like James Cameron being like... It's his love letter to the Titanic, but also it's like James Cameron being like, check it out, I own submarines. It's a lively picture, bro. It's a rich character study that also happens to be all the other things that I mentioned that maybe are more worthy of derision and parody. But if you haven't seen Titanic in like 10 years, it still rips, man. Like, that is not like a misstep in the James Cameron catalog. Now, is it Terminator 2 Judgment Day? No, it's not Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but only one film is. And that's Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Also, I know this is a very base level criticism of Titanic, but it is crazy how Rose was married to a dude for like 90 years, but then like at the end of the movie, she's like in love with Jack again, and you're like, really? Like, you go to heaven, you see Jack? Like, what about your husband? I hope you at least told him, like, well, you were still alive. That's like, this is only till death do us part. Because as soon as we get to heaven, it's me and Leo again. I just think I would want to know. Like, it's their relationship. It's not my relationship. So, like, I don't know what they're doing, but it's up to them. I just hope they've talked about it. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't worry, her husband laid down in the front seat. I think it's it's a power move, quite frankly. I'm going to use a feather. Josh Hartnett in 40 Days, 40 Nights be like, you know what I'm talking about? Anyone remember Josh Hartnett, Shannon Sossamon? I feel like that's a Katherine Heigl joint as well. No, we don't. Well, it's a movie where, for Lent, Josh Hartnett gives up any form of carnal release. Anyway, it's a long... we don't even really need to get into it. It's a product of its time. Wasn't even that good to begin with. It is a good movie. It's... you're half right. It's a movie that they made. There are good things about it. It was probably a union picture. Probably paid some mortgages for a while. Honestly, you're not wrong. There was a period in the 2000s where you could put Shannon Sossamon and Josh Hartnett in anything, and it was good for at least 40 mil at the box office. Listen, I'm not saying it's crossing 100, but 40, that's definitely doable. I remember, dude, 40 Days and 40 Nights lives rent-free in my head. Because I remember, like, in the 8th grade when it came out, like, my 3 best friends took their 3 girlfriends to see it. And I felt so left out. But I didn't have a girlfriend to go with me. So I was like, I can't go see this movie that looks fucking awesome. And as a student of cinema, I feel like that was a real missed opportunity for me to see it. I mean, they always say with 40 Days and 40 Nights, they're like... You know, if you don't see it in the theater, don't even bother. Because, like, you know, it just doesn't play the same way on a home theater screen at home. I thought you were talking about 30 Days of Night. Now that I think about it, it is kind of crazy that there is 30 Days of Night and 40 Days and 40 Nights, both of which star Josh Hartnett. He loves doing movies that are titled... a unit of time, and it's like approximately 1 month. He's in 8 Crazy Nights. I don't know if he's in 8 Crazy Nights. He might be. Adam Sandler's definitely in that one. Don't Tell Kitty Crusade. 60 Seconds or Less. So Close. That's Jesse Eisenberg. That's 30 minutes or less now that I think about it. Around the World in 80 Days, So Close, that's Jackie Chan. 1 Hour Photo, So Close, Robin Williams. 30 Seconds to Mars, that's Jared Leto. Lucky Number 7, true, that is Josh Hartnett, but 7 is not a unit of time. Can I name any movie and you'll have a knowledge of it? No, it has to be from approximately 1992 to about 2010. But anything in that era, there's a good chance I will know one actor in it. Name a Spirited Away actor? Okay, listen. I meant real movies with real actors, not cartoons, okay? Now, is it on my top 10 favorite movies of all time? It's probably up there. Is it legitimate cinema? I'd have to say no. Sorry for speaking the truth. Define cinema? Define comedy. Oh wait, you can't. Because you guys got my favorite show canceled, the damn Drew Barrymore show. It's the only thing that brought any light to my gray world. Now all of a sudden I can't watch it because she's using scab caterers and craft services? Make it make sense, bro. What's your favorite episode of the Drew Barrymore show? I'm going to say Ozymandias. I know you're like, oh, I wanted to say Ozymandias, but like, I mean, I just got to be true to myself. Isn't that from the Santa Clarita Diet? It's a common point of confusion. A lot of shows have had episodes named Ozymandias. It's like, it's a really common name. Why don't you just choose a common name? Muhammad's the most common name on the planet. Read a book sometime. Oh, man. Super bad. That's a classic. That is. If you haven't seen that one, now that's cinema. Name the actor from the movies, the Charlie's Angels movies, who played the creepy guy who cut off the girl's hair and ate it. Bro, that's not even a hard question. That's Crispin Glover. From Back to the Future, from Willard, from other movies probably. Friday the 13th, Part 3, sure, exactly. From Hot Tub Time Machine, right? From one of the movies of all time that made me cry. I mean, you can get me, don't get me wrong. You're not going to get me on Crispin Glover, though. Yeah, well, we're not the same, are we? Because my favorite commercial is, let's pretend we don't exist. Let's go to Outback tonight. I dream of bloke-sized lagers. Let's forget we ordered blooming onions now. Let's order 2 appetizers. I'll get the bloke-sized cactus fries. You'll get the bloomin' onion burger. Let's pretend we don't exist. Let's go to Outback tonight.